Morning world, welcome to Monday 31st of July. Sparkies are in. So it's a grey, overcast, 16 degrees day. There's not a terrific amount to do on the farm this morning. I have got some topping to do, which I could do. I've got a load to do over here at the farm as well. But first, I need to go and do a couple of tree job quotes for the team. And I've got 3 wasp nests to deal with. So we'll do that first. I can't really wander too far away from home today because the spark is in, and I've got a couple of light fittings that are coming in today which I need to collect, give them to him so he can fit them, and then hopefully all the electrics in the new farm toilet will be signed off, ticked off and done. If that's the case, if the loo is done and we got hot water in there, alright, it's only hand wash hot water, it's not a full flow system because we didn't plan for that. We may retrofit that later, maybe. But if that happens, then I think we are going to open the gates to our little campsite for people to come and visit. So I will later on give you an email address that if you want to come and visit us and spend the night or a couple of nights, you can. So an email address that you can book a pitch on. There's only going to be 10 pitches maximum. This is all going to be fairly low key. The facilities are low. It's not really, there's no facilities here for children. So if you wanted to visit for a day while you're looking around, kids will probably be okay for a day. But to be perfectly honest, right now there's nothing for small kids. So entertaining them might be difficult. But if you're just someone or a couple looking for somewhere quiet and out of the way to spend a night or two, then yeah, I think this is kind of more for you right now, even though the facilities are limited. Okay, waspinating is done, and much of the power stuff for the electrician is done. They couldn't finish it off because they'd forgotten some clips and there was a few other bits and bobs needed, so back tomorrow to finish off. But yeah, lighting is almost in, consumer unit is almost in, that socket's done. That's the isolator for the heater tube that's going to go up in this corner, so we can literally set the temperature on and off in this room. This is basically all this is for us, to stop it from freezing up. So at the moment, still no hot water, although that will come. We were looking at upgrading this fella to a bigger unit, but it turns out that the feed that we got from the house is only a 2.5mm feed. I thought it was bigger than that. So for the time being, we're going to have to stick with a little hand wash system, but later on we may be able to upgrade that to a bigger hot water system that we can actually put into the tap. We'll see. For the time being, I think this is just going to have to do, because to upgrade the electrics to the house end is going to be a whole load more of mess that end. Not sure if I'm quite ready for it yet. So with all that said, Matt reckons he'll have the rest of the electrics in tomorrow and that'll all be finished, which means that we probably can open up the little campsite this Friday if somebody wants to come. It's Friday the weekend, so I'm going to put an email address up here if you're interested, you want to come in and you want to come see us. We haven't really sorted out fees, but I think it's going to be something like £10 a night per adult, and kids under 12 a £5 for the time being. This is all no, just setting off. A lot of people said, oh, I'll pay for the pitch, some for that, but a lot of you folks have said, oh, yeah, I'd like to come in my camper. Well, that's one person. Well, if I did it by the pitch, that would make it very expensive for one person. And there's pros and cons for both options, pitch or per person. So, but I think right now, £10 per adult per night, and £5 for kids under 12, so 11 and under, and we'll just start from there, and then we'll work this out as we go along. That's kind of right now the easiest thing I can do it. So yeah, I think it's again, I'll put the right email address up there, and if you want to come and spend a day or so with us, that's the way. So the other thing is the Elson disposal. There are some green options for chemical toilet, which apparently is safe for septic tank. So we need a bit of research on that as well. But if you want to come in the caravan, you want to use your own toilet, whatever else, provided your collection or your chemical is septic tank safe. Must be. We can't use the blue stuff. I think there's a green stuff or a couple of green options. We could probably dispose of that, okay, but not the blue. Sorry about that. I know the green stuff is more expensive, but not the blue. Right, hopefully by then I've also caught that bloody mole. All right, you lot, you might be wondering why there's a gap between the little gate there and there. That's so there's no physical contact at all. They can't touch noses with the beasts are in there. If one of these should go down with TB, at the moment they're all still completely separate. So the chance of me spreading an infection from any of these to any of those is as limited as I can make it, and of course vice versa. And not only that, none of these girls in here have been to the bull. So if I let him get right out to that gate and he's basically touching them, he can't get over the gate, but that might not stop him from trying. So rather than hurt himself, or any of these girls hurt themselves to get to him, because it's instinct. He wants it, they want it, and there's nothing anybody else could say, do, or whatever else is going to change their mind. That's just what they do. So yeah, so hence the little gap between the two. They can't touch. Better give the cat a bell first. Bail I gave them yesterday, they polished off in about 6 hours. So they obviously like this stuff. But I'm not going to open the gate just, oh, they're already coming up. I'm not going to open the gate just yet. Here we go again. Not want to come apart this bale. They're just going to have to pull it apart themselves. I've I've opened the gate. Go on. Dinner is served. Look at the size of her. Right. So remember that bit of topping I was doing down there with my granddaughter when the bearing started making funny noises on the macho? Well, I still haven't finished it. I've got an hour. So we've already been around the headland of this little paddock once. There's no need to do it again. I'm just cutting grass for the sake of cutting grass. And it's the thistles that I want, not the grass. So, although the old stalky stuff, you can see where I cut before last time, this stuff out here, that won't hurt for a bit of freshening up. So, knock off the tops, make it fresh again. That's better. One down, one to go. That's two, almost done. We have to get a wriggle on. I've got to go and do tonight's upload, so I might have to come back out and finish that in half an hour. I'll get this one done first. That's tidied it up. There's nothing worse than seeing a field full of weeds. So, although I have just spotted a ragwort over there, I'm going to have to go and pull that later on as well. It looked at me. That's it. That's that one done. Right, we'll see you later. I might as well drive up, there's no point wasting energy.